Hi, this is a video to help a student with confusions on percents. There are many different ways to do percents, and for those who are fluid with decimals and fractions and percents, which is where we all want to get to be in math, you'll look at a percent problem and you'll go, how am I going to handle this one? I could do it like this, I could do it like that, I could just move the decimal point a few places over and get my answer and carry right on. And that is fantastic. If you have a student who can do that, just kiss them and let them carry on. You don't need this video. Many students have a very hard time with percents for two reasons. Either their fractions are out, and I'm not handling that in this video, or they have a hard time with there being so many different ways to solve a problem. It's overwhelming. They need a stable datum. They need one way to solve every problem that comes across their plate. And it may not always be the simplest way. But when you have a student who just needs one way, they can just relax on the subject, this is the way that I use. So there are two things they have to do. They have to convert percentages and they have to work with percentage sentences. So first is conversions. When you're changing a decimal to a percent, a fraction to percent, a percent to a decimal, or a percent to a fraction, there has to be one bit of stable datum that you can apply to all these types of conversions. And there is, and it's simply this. Percent means divided by 100. Per for every cent, 100. So no matter what you're talking about, something percent means that something divided by 100 times smaller. That is your stable datum. I'll show you how to use that. 7/20ths. If I can turn that into hundreds, which I can now easily make it into a percent because divided by 100 means percent. So if it's 35 divided by 100, it's 35%. Done. So here I've put it into hundreds. That's the stable datum. If I can turn it into hundreds, I can make it percents. Here's a decimal. 0.35 means 35 hundredths, so that's pretty easy. So it's 35%. 35% means, again, 35 hundredths, so I can just simplify the fraction, make it 7/20ths, which belongs down here under fractions. So as a decimal, I'll do it again. 35% means 35 hundredths, which is 0.35. So no matter which direction you're doing it, if you put in this middle step of turning everything into hundreds, you preserve the understanding of what it is you're doing. You preserve the understanding of the meaning of the math. And it also means you don't have to memorize decimals moving in this direction or that direction. Just turn it into hundreds, you have your percent. So this is conversions. I use a similar stable datum for these math sentences. These math sentences, the first thing I point out to the students is they're written in English. This isn't written in math at all. So you have to convert it into math. Something equals. This means divided by 100. This means times. Now that's not a scary sentence at all anymore. This times this is that. Well, if they've done fractions, they can do that. 20 is some hundredths, because that's what that means, times 80. And if this times this is that, then 20 divided by 80 is that, and you would get 25 hundredths, which is 25%. 20 is 25 hundredths times something. And if this times this is that, then that divided by that will get you this. So again, the stable datum is, this means 100 times smaller, divided by 100. So when converting, put that step in the middle. Turn everything into hundreds. You will always be able to solve the problem. And when you're doing sentences, translated from English is percent and of into math equals over 100 times. This sentence doesn't scare anybody, and it doesn't confuse anybody unless you're not through fractions. This sentence can easily be done. And it takes a branch of math that can seem like it has 100 different ways to solve it and brings it down to just one way. Make it into a simple sentence, and then you can just answer it. I hope this helps.